This video might make you blush, or it might make you feel seen, maybe both. Today, we're talking about something that doesn't get discussed much, at least not out loud. Masturbation, specifically, masturbation in older women. Now, before you click away or whisper, "Oh my," hear me out. You might be in your 60s, 70s, or even older. You might have been told that intimacy, pleasure, or even wanting something for yourself kind of disappears after a certain age. But guess what? It doesn't. And we're going to talk about that. In this video, we'll cover whether it's normal, what actually changes with age, some surprising health benefits, and how to let go of shame that never belonged to you in the first place. But before we dive in, if you enjoy calm, honest, gently cheeky conversations about aging, health, and things most people are too shy to say, I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me grow this channel. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. It means a lot. And hey, if this video feels valuable to you, leave a comment with the number 1. If you think I completely missed the mark, leave a 0. That way I can keep making better, more helpful videos. Now, let's talk about that thing we're not supposed to talk about. Is it normal for older women to masturbate? Short answer, yes. Longer answer, yes. And maybe you should more often. There's this idea floating around that desire comes with an expiration date. Like at 55 you get cake, and at 60 you get a polite note that says, "Your sensuality has been deactivated. Thank you for your service." But that's nonsense. Your body didn't stop being yours. Your mind didn't stop feeling curious. And your right to pleasure didn't disappear when you stopped getting birthday cards with glitter. The truth is, many older women continue to experience desire well into their later years. They just don't talk about it. Why? Because the world taught them not to. Most women over 60 grew up in a time when the topic of self-pleasure wasn't discussed. Not at school, not in magazines, and definitely not over lunch with friends. It was something secret, shameful, something that nice women didn't do. But guess what? Nice women do it, strong women do it, widowed women, single women, married women, all kinds of women, and maybe you still do it. And you're not weird, you're human. Now, does the body change as we age? Of course. Hormones shift. Sensations might feel different. Energy comes and goes. But that doesn't mean the switch is off. It just means the settings have changed. It's like upgrading from a microwave meal to a slow cooker. Takes a little longer, but the result can be way more satisfying. You're not rushing. You're not worried about anyone else. You're not performing. You're simply present with yourself. And sometimes, that's the most intimate experience there is. And guess what? Science is on your side. Regular masturbation has been linked to better sleep, reduced anxiety, improved circulation, enhanced mood, and even stronger pelvic floor muscles. That's right. Self-pleasure might just help you avoid those awkward sneeze leaks. It's also comforting during moments of stress, grief, or just those quiet evenings when you want to reconnect with your own body on your own terms. No rules, no pressure, no one watching. Just you, still capable of feeling good and deserving of it. So if you've ever thought, am I too old for this? Is this still okay? Should I feel guilty about it? Here's the answer. No, and absolutely not. You've spent your life giving to others. You've earned the right to feel good, to explore, to laugh, to touch, to remember that this body, it's still yours. And it doesn't matter if it's once a day, once a month, or once in a blue moon. There's no right way to be intimate with yourself. There's just your way. And the science backs that up. In a large-scale study conducted by the National Poll on Healthy Aging, over 61% of women between 65 and 80 reported being sexually active, and many of them described self-pleasure as a key part of their wellness routine. Think about that. More than half. That's not a fluke. That's a quiet majority that just isn't talking publicly. And yet, despite these numbers, older women are almost completely left out of conversations about sexual health, both in media and in medicine. In fact, researchers from the University of Michigan found that less than 20% of older women have ever spoken to a doctor about sexual well-being. And when they do, it's often met with discomfort or a quick subject change. But your body doesn't stop mattering because someone in a white coat is too shy to talk about it. Pleasure, physical, emotional, even spiritual, is still a part of health. The International Society for the Study of Women's Sexual Health, yes, that's a real organization, has stated that solo intimacy can help maintain vaginal elasticity, prevent dryness, and reduce pain during future intimacy. That means staying connected with your body isn't just about desire. It's literally keeping things in working order. And if that sounds awkward to think about, try flipping the script. You stretch your legs to stay flexible. You brush your teeth to prevent decay. You moisturize your skin to keep it from cracking. Why wouldn't you also take gentle care of the most private parts of you? It's not indulgence, it's maintenance. And a little curiosity doesn't hurt either. And while the physical benefits are important, let's talk about the emotional ones. Because this isn't just about sex, it's about self-worth. For many older women, especially those living alone, self-pleasure becomes more than physical. It's about reclaiming connection, feeling human, feeling alive. Some women describe it as a way to grieve gently after losing a partner. Others say it brings back a part of themselves they thought was long gone. A few even say it helps with loneliness in the most surprising ways. There's something deeply healing about reminding yourself that you are still capable of feeling pleasure, peace, presence, whatever form that takes. And if you're thinking but I have health issues, or what if I have arthritis or limited mobility? You're not alone. Plenty of women deal with physical challenges that can make intimacy more complicated, but not impossible. Many doctors, including specialists in geriatric and women's health, recommend experimenting with comfortable positions, using pillows for support, and taking things slowly. There are also tools and products designed specifically for older women. And no, they don't all look like they belong in a Hollywood movie scene. Some are discreet. Some are simple. Many are made with softness, comfort, and ease in mind, because your experience matters. And if you're worried about safety, use the same rule you would with anything else at this stage of life. Go slow. Listen to your body. Stop if something doesn't feel right. Now here's a strange but true fact. Studies suggest that orgasm frequency is linked to longevity. A 1997 study published in the British Medical Journal found that men who had more frequent orgasms lived longer. And while that particular study focused on men, later research on women has shown similar trends, specifically around better sleep, cardiovascular health, and reduced cortisol levels after regular sexual activity. Now, does that mean self-pleasure is a fountain of youth? No, but it might be a fountain of better mornings, especially if it helps you fall asleep, clear your mind, or simply feel more present in your body again. Let's not forget how much mental baggage many women carry when it comes to this topic. Generations of messaging told you that this part of yourself was shameful, that desire was dangerous, that silence was proper. But here's something radical. You don't have to inherit that shame. You don't have to carry what your mother or grandmother never had the chance to question. And you certainly don't need anyone's permission to feel joy in your own skin. You are allowed, deeply, fully, freely allowed, to be curious about yourself. Even now, especially now. Because this chapter of life isn't about disappearing. It's about choosing what comes next, on your terms. You might be wondering, why does this even matter? Why talk about something so private, so personal? Because for many women, it's not about the act itself. It's about everything around it. It's about letting go of guilt. It's about permission, to feel, to want, to be. It's about realizing that intimacy doesn't belong to youth or to someone else. It belongs to you. It always has. And for some women, touching themselves again, or even thinking about it, brings up emotions that go far beyond the bedroom. For one woman in her 70s, it wasn't about sex at all. It was about identity. After her divorce, she spent years feeling like her body didn't belong to her anymore. Like it had been traded away for years of caregiving, working, pleasing, surviving. The first time she touched herself again, she cried. Not because it felt awkward, but because it felt like coming home. For others, this journey is about curiosity, exploring what's changed, discovering what feels good now, maybe laughing a little when the mood strikes, or when the knees don't bend quite like they used to. You might need more time, more patience, or a little help from modern tools, and that's okay. There's no test, no scorecard, no performance review. This isn't about youth or performance or perfection. This is about presence. Being present with your body. Being present with your needs. Being present with yourself. And let's talk about the other side, the emotional armor. Because some women avoid this topic not because they're ashamed, but because they've been hurt. Intimacy may be tied to memories that aren't easy. Relationships that were controlling, moments where they didn't feel safe. If this is you, it's okay to go slowly, to approach touch with kindness, with caution, even with hesitation. Sometimes learning to love yourself again is not about pleasure. It's about reclaiming your body from the places it's been taken. And that might take time. But it's worth every gentle step. Some women tell themselves, it's too late. Too late to start again. Too late to be curious. Too late to feel anything new. But there's no expiration date on curiosity. There are women in their 80s exploring themselves for the first time in decades. Women in their 70s rediscovering things they didn't enjoy in their 20s. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Pleasure isn't about age. It's about attention. When you give yourself attention, when you slow down and listen, you might be surprised by what you still enjoy. You may not crave the same things. That's okay. You may need more time. Also okay. You may feel silly, awkward, or unsure. Completely okay. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to reconnect with someone you've known your whole life. yourself. And if you still think, this is weird, this is too personal, this isn't something people talk about, you're right. It is personal. It is quiet. And most people don't talk about it. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe if more women spoke up, more women would stop wondering if something's wrong with them. Maybe the silence is more damaging than the desire ever could be. Because when you treat something as a secret, it starts to feel like shame. But when you name it, talk about it, normalize it, it becomes just another part of being alive, like eating, or laughing, or dancing. And speaking of dancing, remember this. No one dances quite the same way in their 70s as they did in their 20s. But that doesn't mean you stop dancing. It just means the rhythm is different. And honestly, sometimes the slower songs are the ones you feel the most. So no, you're not too old, you're not too late, you're not broken, you're not strange, and you're definitely not alone. There are women just like you, quietly rediscovering their bodies, healing old beliefs, letting go of shame, and finally asking, what if I don't have to hide this anymore? What if it's okay to feel something again? What if this is just part of being alive? If you're still here, still listening, still curious, that says something beautiful about you. It means you're open. It means you care about your body, your health, your experience. And maybe it means you're starting to question what you were told about aging and pleasure. That's powerful. And it's important, because ignoring this part of ourselves doesn't make it go away. It just makes us feel like we're not allowed to talk about it. But the truth is, we should be talking about it more. Doctors, caregivers, families, even aging organizations are finally beginning to recognize that sexual well-being is part of overall health, not separate from it. In fact, the World Health Organization defines sexual health as a state of physical, emotional, mental, and social well-being in relation to sexuality. Not a luxury, not a dirty word, not a joke, a part of well-being. And you deserve that. More and more research shows that people who maintain a connection to their sensual selves, in any form, tend to experience better mood, higher self-esteem, stronger immune responses, and a deeper sense of meaning and satisfaction with life. Even small acts of self-intimacy, like running your hands over lotion with intention or taking the time to breathe and notice sensation, help the nervous system relax. It's not about climax. It's not about performance. It's about presence, attention, connection. Even 5 minutes a week spent reconnecting with your body can shift your relationship to yourself. For many women, the hardest part isn't physical, it's mental. Years of conditioning, religious, cultural, or just generational, tell us what good women do and don't do, what dignified aging looks like, what should be left in the past. But aging isn't about disappearing. It's not about shrinking. It's about becoming more yourself. And part of yourself is physical, sensual, curious, still deserving of pleasure in whatever form it shows up. That doesn't stop being true just because someone put a number on your birthday cake. You've lived a life. You've experienced heartbreak, love, routine, stress, quiet victories, and moments that no one else ever saw. You've given so much of yourself to others. Your time, your care, your strength. And maybe this chapter is the one where you return to you, not because anyone gave you permission, but because you decided to. Not because it makes you younger, but because it makes you whole. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to feel close to yourself. And if you're still wondering, but should I really be doing this at my age? Just remember, nobody ever asks that question about drinking wine, doing crossword puzzles, or walking barefoot in the grass. Pleasure doesn't need to be productive. It just needs to be yours. And if it makes you laugh, even better. That means you're still in there, still alive, still you. Some women rediscover this part of themselves quietly, like slipping back into a familiar robe. Others explore it like a new book they never thought they'd read, full of unexpected chapters and surprisingly tender pages. There's no one way to do this, only your way. If no one's told you this lately, let me say it now. You are allowed to feel good. You are allowed to want things. You are allowed to explore, to wonder, to slow down, and simply be with yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need to explain. And you don't need to feel guilty. This body is still yours. This life is still yours. And this quiet pleasure, this small act of connection, might be one of the most honest things you've done in a long time. So whatever age you are, 60, 70, 80, or somewhere in between, yes, it's normal. And more than that, it's okay. It's good. It's yours. If I rambled on a little too much, or repeated myself more than I meant to, well, I'm still figuring this out. I'm new to this, but I'm learning, and I really appreciate you sticking with me. Hopefully, there was something in here that made you feel a little more understood, or at the very least a little less alone. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care of yourself. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.